There's a fine line between genius and insanity. That's not just a very famous quote, it might as well be G2's motto. From their inception across multiple games, G2 have always been mavericks, straddling the proverbial line and dancing on and over it. But the most recent roster moves of even the staunchest supporters wondering if that line has just become a little bit thicker. Well, we're here to tell you that genius can, and often does, come from the most unforeseen places, and it's not always obvious. First off, what exactly are the changes they've made? Nexa has been replaced with Malbs MD, who has been on the come up in NA. He's been untouchable on M80 for a while, and while this is a step up, it's one he seems pretty ready to take. It's hard to argue against as a pure firepower upgrade. Nexa has a lot of qualities, as shown by the fact he was immediately snapped up by Bleed, but in terms of aim and raw mechanics, we'd take the Guatemala any day of the week. Just one look at his highlights is enough to see the kid's ability. Hell, just one look at his games against G2 should tell you enough. It's like when Man U signed Ronaldo because he roasted them, or at least G2 will be hoping it is. It could be more like when they signed Louis Saha or Phil Jones, or when North signed half of Denmark. Simultaneously, they swapped to IGLs. It turns out when G2 didn't have their IGL and replaced it with a star from yesteryear to win an event, it set off a light bulb in their head. But they went even further back. Was it legendary in-game leader Fallen, 2 times major winner? No. Was it Glaive, 4 times major winner? Not quite either. It was a player who was, arguably, a better player than either of them at his peak. A man who really embodied that genius insanity fine divide, and has recently become an IGL ready for this challenge. This is a big plate, but boy is Snax hungry. So, what's the deal? Why are these moves so controversial? As we sort of foreshadowed earlier, it's as if we script these videos ahead of time. Snax has only just become an IGL. He was a great player, but he wasn't the leader on the team he won a major with. It's also not as if Virtus.pro were known for being ahead of the curve in terms of tactics, ideas and team play either. They were known for their approach, but it was crazy, violent, aggressive, chaos. It just doesn't scream genius forward-thinking IGL. That's not to say Snax couldn't be a great in-game leader, but he is quite new to it and there is a learning curve. His Gamer Legion team was decent, like they beat ENCE a couple of times at Pro League and top 4 at CCT Global Finals. But you only have to scratch a little further to see that maybe he could have been a better leader on the T side, or even as a fragger. When you add to that Malbs is coming into his first elite tier team and he's being taken out of roles he shined in before to become a big site anchor, keeping NiKo in his roles, Snax also has role clashes all over the place and you've got a potential disaster. Oh, and let's add that m0NESY and NiKo are rumoured to be leaving at the end of their contracts and G2 are in a very weird spot. It's not all bad though. This team is ridiculously stacked. I mean ridiculously stacked. There aren't many, if any, teams with more mechanical ability from top to bottom. m0NESY is the best AWPer in the world. Malbs is one of the hottest prospects around. NiKo and Hunter need no introduction. And Snax used to run the world as a player. Yeah, the roles don't work. I mean, just look at this graphic from HLTV's Nero. But who cares? You're not going to outmaneuver the best teams without having one of the best IGLs in the business, and sometimes you just have to take the high variance option. Roles didn't even exist when Snax was the best player in the world, and roles in NiKo Sports were totally unimportant bar his own. G2 won Cologne and Katowice with a very high variance team, all skill, weird roles and kinda great vibes. Dallas was similar with a little bit more structure. In tournament formats, it doesn't really matter if G2 are consistent or not. They can be terrible at 8 events and win 1, and that's still better than top 8 at all 9 and winning none. Consistency is overrated. Ceiling is everything in tournament formats. If, and it is a big if, this team clicks, it's going to be really hard to stop. The mechanical skill on this team alone will make them a nightmare to play against, even if they're all playing in the wrong spots. It doesn't matter if NiKo or Malbs are poor and in the open, they're going to 1DQ anyway. Yes, they lost their small slot anchor, their dedicated support system, their ideas man, but they gained skill in a team that already had some of the best in the world. There's only one thing about this team that is certain. It's going to be really fun to watch. Whether or not it's terrible or if it's brilliant, it doesn't matter, it's going to be great. Like at any point in the last ever, we've absolutely no idea what to expect from T2 Esports. This could be the scariest team in the world or an unmitigated expensive disaster. But either way, big teams will not want to play against this team at any point. The team ranked 65 in the world will beat them at a big tournament, and they'll go on to win a big trophy. We don't know how, but we know that it will happen. Do you think G2 are going to take over the world, or are you worried about roles and egos? Is mechanical skill the be-all and end-all, or does this brawl need some brains? Let us know in the comment section below.